Air. What a great, tremendous program. The three DeLand Rotaries have put together what's called Volusia Honor Air. We charter an Airbus A320 out of US Air twice a year and fly 100 World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. for the day of their life. We're allowed to help them by doing some of the application and paperwork and things of that nature. We don't let it interfere with our normal job, but it takes a big strain off of them. And if you've never been on a flight as a Guardian, look it up, www.volusiahonorair.org, and you'll be surprised. $75,000 a flight. We do it twice a year. And Volusia County, to all of you who donate, thank you. Don't stop now. We've got plenty more to go. Next flight, September 24th.
What's the deadline for donating to that?
Never a deadline.
Oh, okay.
Just, Eddie, I'll take a check right now.
As a matter of fact, I have the application on my desk at home.
You're a good man.
And we have discussed that
Yes, we
at
have.
the office. We will be doing that. What are some of the other programs you've got going there that you'd like to tell the audience
In
about?
Daytona Beach, and I'm waving a flag for Volusia County because that's where we work. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're all about here, Volusia
And
County.
legislative part of my job is trying to get other benefits, other facilities like the vet center, like the two outpatient clinics. And we have a VA rehabilitation center here in Daytona Beach over on Bevel, which does an excellent job in rehabilitation for veterans and things of that nature. But I want to talk about the claims side and the appeals side. The VA system has what's called a regional office. That regional office is in St. Petersburg. Everything for the state of Florida, everything for Puerto Rico and a few other, lower Alabama, lower Georgia. All those claims and appeals are handled there. Yes or no. That's how they do it. Well, they've got over 1,000 employees, so they created what's called a mini service center. That's in Orlando. We do, half our stuff goes to regional office St. Pete, the other half to Orlando. It's almost a full-fledged regional office in its own. It has the entire capability. We're very fortunate to have that. Legislatively, that's how we got it. We start complaining, we start adding the issues, justifying it, we get that to be done. Emory L. Bennett Nursing Home. I know it's one of yours.
That's one of my pets.
Gray, if you're hearing this, you're doing a great job, my friend.
Yes, Gray.
Continue to march.
When I don't hear complaints, I know you're doing a good job.
Gray's given an open door to us, and Florida Department of Veterans Affairs is a great organization. They work very hard, and I've walked in there many times just to talk to vets, to see people, to make sure everything is right, and it is right. Great organization.
I'm going to have to bring this up.
Go for it.
A while back, we had, a couple of years ago, actually, three and a half years ago, we had a new administrator out there, and I started getting complaints from the community. It took 2.5 years.
Yes.
But we got on it. We stayed on it. You may have read some of the stories in the newspapers about her. But we did not rest until she was gone. She was not treating our veterans right, and she found out the hard way that we in Volusia County are not going to let you tread on our veterans. We stepped up, we got rid of her. And that's why Gray is there, and thank you, Gray. I've heard good things about you, buddy. We do a lot of poker runs out there.
I understand.
These guys, you know, I've got the big flags on the bike. And if I go up to the hospital and I'll park out in the parking lot, invariably some guy that's in a wheelchair is going to come out there and say, park it up here, park it up here. They want to come over and they want to look at the bike and they see the flags. It's just a ray of sunshine to some of these guys and gals up there. It's really nice to go up there.
It is. It is. You know, in the VA system is also the cemetery system. And we've had the National Cemetery in Bushnell. We were very fortunate to legislate in getting a new cemetery in St. Augustine, the National Cemetery, and a lot of others in the state of Florida. And we have to thank those people that we've teamed with, like Congressman John Mica, one of our biggest supporters, Sandy Adams now, heck of a job, Sandy. Please continue to march in that area.
And Sandy, I want you on my show.
Good way to put it in. But I want to shift just a little bit to talk about individual conflicts, if you will, and people and what's happening. Everybody knows that the greatest generation, World War II veterans, which we're very proud of. Volusia Honor Air and honoring them and taking them a day up there and seeing all the monuments, memorials, the World War II memorial, lunch at the Library of Congress, and having all kinds of people, generals and senators and everybody in the world meet with them, a day they won't forget. Vietnam veterans and Korean veterans, a lot of controversy when they called it the Korean conflict.
Yeah.
The police action in Vietnam. I tell the story a lot about that. When somebody starts shooting at me, it's no longer a police action, it's war.
Yeah.
And to those veterans, thank you very much for your service. I appreciate you being one myself. To the OEF, Desert Storm, to those of you bubbleheads out there who are in the silent service, who are forever patrolling the seas in constant danger, we thank all of you for your service. But I got to mention something, Eddie. I talked to a young man. His name was Nick, and he came home on after his first tour in Iraq, and we talked for a while about a lot of things. And you can tell, and I could relate to myself back at his age, when I got back from Vietnam on the first tour and went back. These young men and women are just like us. For those of us in Vietnam, we had jungles and rice paddies. These young men and women over there, and we call it the sandbox. You're in a foreign country. You're trying to stay alive and survive and do your job honorably. Just surviving is enough. To keep the integrity and the honorable job that you're doing is another effort. It's hard for those veterans when they come home because the system, thank God, has changed. We came home from Vietnam, it was sign here and you're out of the service. Now we have sites called BDD, Benefits Delivery Upon Discharge. They're not at every base. At Fort Stewart they're at, and a few others here in Florida. But that's where the veterans can get their benefits before they get out. A lot of those veterans of those eras keep forgetting that those conditions become more severe. You can ask for an increase. You can get things. You'd be surprised at the benefits you don't know you have.
Well, when I came out in '63, was discharged out of the Philadelphia Navy Yard.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until 6 or 8 months later that I found out that I was eligible for a $50 a week paycheck.
Yeah.
For a period of time.
Right.
But nobody told me that. And I want to go back. I want to mention one branch that isn't military, but serves as well.
Okay.
Our our Merchant Marines.
Right.
These guys, well, during the Second World War, especially, a lot of people don't realize they lost an awful lot of people, an awful lot of ships supplying our troops. And I don't think that those guys get enough recognition.
There are certain merchant marine classifications that are VA, that do have VA benefits.
Good. And
they should, along with the Armed Guard and a few others. So if you were in the merchant marine and you're curious, give us a call.
Good, I didn't
Come
know
in and
that.
see us. Yes, they are. And that was another legislative issue. I'm going to go back to Nick for just a second,
Okay.
if I can. The young man doesn't know if he wants to stay in the military or if he wants to get out. And so I wanted to be able to point out some of the benefits that we did not have in Vietnam that you do have. The GI Bill of the 21st century is probably the greatest educational bill there ever was, and there is. There are parts of that bill. First of all, the bill will allow you to go to college. You have an honorable discharge, you just came back, you fit the criteria of the dates and times, you go to college for free. You can get paid to go to college. You can start a career. You can go on with your life. You may be wanting to go to a place called Embry-Riddle University in Volusia County, Stetson University, which is not the same pay rate or the same cost as a normal Daytona State College or any of the others. But guess what? The Yellow Ribbon program will pay you to go to Embry-Riddle and pay the cost at Embry-Riddle or Stetson University, and you can get paid to go. Get your education, get your career. There are options.
When I was out in California, I was a high school dropout. Got my GED 2 years in the Marine Corps, or 4 years in the Marine Corps. But when I got out, I went to
Marine Corps, was that an armed service?
excuse
Just kidding,
me,
guys.
we might have to edit this next section here. But I went to night school, college, a couple nights a week. Best part-time paying job I could have had. They were buying my books, they were paying me, and all I had to do was go to school 2 nights a week, and it was great.
Yep.
So you wouldn't know it, but I've actually got some limited college education. I try to hide that.
It is surprisingly, but we'll accept your word for
All
that.
right.
Going to continue with education. Get an education. Everything is education nowadays. You've proved your honorable service. You've done your thing for your country. If you want to stay in, stay in. There's nothing wrong with a career in the military. If you want to get out, get an education. Let us pay for it. That's what we fought for. That's what we fought for you to have when you got out. Eddie, I have a litany of things to talk about on here, but I just want to reemphasize that this is Volusia County Veteran Services, a county agency. Every one of my counselors is accredited by the General Counsel of the Department of Veterans Affairs. That allows us to get into the VA computer. That allows us access so we can better help you. Every one of my counselors is certified with veteran service organizations like the DAV, the VFW, the American Legion, the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and all the rest, which gives us access to that. We're kind of a universal organization, a team that wants to help you. Please let us help you. I am not here for Mike. I'm here for you. I won't go into the next thing I was going to say, Eddie, because I'm sure they're going to delete this, but go ahead. Yeah, you just
go
really
ahead.
are.
Go ahead. We're running out of time here, Mike. So you got something? One last thought you want to put out there?
We're here for you. Come see us. It costs you nothing but your time. Thank you.
And I will say this is probably one of the only Volusia County agencies that I don't have an issue with. These guys are fantastic. Anyway, we're coming down to the end of our another half-hour show. Thank you very much. See you next week. Got some great guests coming. Bye-bye.
Take care.